one tiny footprint left by a toddler long ago. Now you can follow in their footsteps through the Museum of Archaeology and Anthropology's new exhibit, Hide and Seek. There you'll see items you'd expect to see in a child's hands, and others that you wouldn't, in a display stretching from the Stone Age to the recent past. The museum's curator, Jodie Joy, wants visitors to realise that the rare glimpses we get into the history of children aren't all fun and games.
We're all adults, we all were children, so we think we know what childhood was like. And we tend to think of childhood nowadays as kind of an idealised period where it's kind of an age of innocence. So we don't think of children as contributing to society as much as they did in the past. Now in the past, children may have made up to 50% of the population. So if you think about that, and if you're telling the story of the past in archaeology, if we don't talk about children, we're not talking about the past in a complete way.
Unlike most kids today, children in the past would often learn their profession at a young age. Some honed their creative skills to make household objects, while others trained and put themselves in harm's way to put food on the table. It could be brutal being a child when death was more commonplace, and the authorities didn't show much leniency to kids.
So it shows that actually life could be quite tough for children in the past. So over here we have a copy of the Laws of Athelstan, so an Anglo-Saxon law code, which shows that people as young as 12 could be tried for robbery and actually executed for robbery. Moving on, we have these wonderful miniature handcuffs from the Cambridge Police Museum showing that some poor children were actually handcuffed by police. And over here we have the sorry tale of Thomas Bradley from Burwell, who was committed to 15 years transportation for setting fire to stacks of straw and corn.
But no matter what their circumstances, kids have always found a means to play.
So this is really exciting. This is a medieval sledge for a child. So if you look at the back of the case, you can see a medieval manuscript showing a child sitting on what this is a horse's jaw with what would have been a wooden platform above it, scooting themselves along. So it's like medieval winter sports. What's interesting about it though is without that manuscript, if we found these objects on an archaeological site, we would just think it's a horse's jaw. And what we did is when we were researching for the exhibition, we found the manuscript and then we contacted museums to see if they could find evidence for this. And Norwich Castle Museum actually found polishing on the underside of one of their horse mandibles, so we know now that it was used as a sledge.
This exhibit will be open to all ages until the 29th of January next year. Adam Page, Cambridge TV News.